This video is sponsored by PropShop, the most reliable, trusting sports betting app that you could use that takes a new user experience for sports betting that hypes up the game time excitement. Not the sports betting type, guys, but ever since I've used this app, sports betting app, beginning of the season, it is straight to the point. It is easy to use. Anybody could use it, and I'm going to show you how to use it right now. You go to the App Store, you download the app. There are two ways that you could play here. You could play for free on coins and redeem them for real money rewards, and or just use real money on bets, which is very easy. So possibilities are endless. All the different operators such as Caesars, DraftKings, and MyBookie are all in one app, which is great. So you have your choices there. But I want to kind of give an example of the season just for this week. A game that I'm kind of looking at, you just go to the NFL, you choose what game you want, and I'm looking at the Titans, I'm looking at the Raiders this week. The Raiders are coming off of a detrimental loss to the Cardinals, and the Titans are dealing with injuries. They're 0-2, but you can go into a game like this. You see the certain players, go to the under, the over, skip a player. Devontae Adams, 7.5 receiving yards. I'm taking the over on that. Then once you make the bet, have bet slip comes at the top, which you could keep track of all your bets, which I think is most importantly. And then you have the bet types, which is great between receiving, passing, and rushing, which you could search for certain players. And then you have the live bet tracking here that you don't even have to be home. You could be out at the movies. You could be doing whatever you want to do and still keep track of all your bets when they're live, which is great. So definitely download the PropShop app. Click the link below in the description. And I want to thank PropShop for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Everyone's having a fantastic day. So I'm going to give you some updates on the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders. There's some injuries lingering right now with Washington that they might be in trouble. Carson Wentz calls the Eagles defense exotic. Well, I don't know why he's talking all that, but do not give the Eagles bulletin board material, especially defensively, because they will show up. They will definitely show up. Okay, so I want to talk about, and before I start all this, I want to say that I wish that these teams were 100% because I want to play these teams when they're at their best. But unfortunately, it's not our fault. It is what it is. The Eagles look good going into week 3 of the season. Besides, Reddick was dealing with a knee. I think Avonte Max had a little injury, but a lot of rest days for a lot of these players. So I'm expecting a fully healthy Eagles team going into week 3, which is always a great thing. Now, some news has come out from Washington that the offensive line is having some issues right now. Not only you're losing your center, but you're losing your guard. Not probably going to be able to play Sunday. So if I mess up these names, please let me know. So it looks like Chase Rollier is on IR. Starting right guard Wes Waiter. I can't say his name right. May not play on Sunday. Once again, the Eagles face a weak interior offensive line. So the Washington offense, the offensive line is going to have to pick their poison with, Fletcher Cox and Hargrave, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, whatever they're doing there of who they're going to double team. And Gannon has got to take advantage of this and get this blitz going. Do not take your foot off the gas. Center and guard is out. And they picked up a center, by the way. They picked up Nick Martin, okay? And Nick Martin, I think, is the brother or cousin of Zach Martin from the Cowboys, from what I heard. Nick Martin was a second-round pick in 2016 and had an ankle injury his rookie year. Was out the whole year. Hasn't really done much since and was with the Raiders last year, but I don't even think he played a game. So this man is literally fresh off the street right now. So you can really disrupt a lot of things with this Commanders offense. That offensive line is surely hurt. And it kind of gives me deja vu because last year when we played, there was a lot of injuries to teams. We never took advantage of it, and we still seem to get beat. But as of right now, take advantage of this situation because the offensive line for Carson Wentz is hurt like there's no tomorrow, and Eagles need to just blitz, do your stunts, get through there. Do not stop. Keep putting the pressure on Carson Wentz. Those aren't the only injuries for Washington this week. Defensive end Casey Tuhill has a concussion. Defensive tackle Daniel Wise has an ankle injury. Those are 2 consecutive missed practices for both of those players. It's already enough. They don't even have defensive tackle Fedarian Mathis with a knee injury going to this game, so they lose a lot of depth. They have a lot of depth lost at defensive tackle and defensive end, which is already making the Commanders allowed, what, 5th most rushing yards. So not only can you get the run game going, but Jalen Hurts on these RPOs, these read options, I don't think they have anybody that's going to contain the edge, since Chase Young is not even playing either. Chase Young is still a few weeks away from making his 2022 Washington Commander debut. You got a lot to take advantage here. They're hurting at guard and center, they're hurting at defensive end, and they're hurting at defensive tackle. Okay, so if Hurts rolls out, linebackers are going to come up because the defensive ends are not going to be able to contain, they're not going to be able to get after Jalen Hurts. I'm telling you right now, you're going to find some wide open passes in this game, and this offense is probably going to have a bigger game than they did. Hopefully, penalty scot-free from this game, which would be a good thing. So, like I said, it's, the Eagles can win this game Sunday. They just can't shoot themselves in the foot. Now, I thought they had like one injury in the offensive line and really not much around that, but it seemed like there's a lot more to Washington with these injuries when it comes to both trenches, defensive line, and their offensive line at guard and center. So this should be an interesting matchup. I have the Eagles winning, not just because of what I read today. I mean, I already kind of had them winning this Sunday, but you got to take advantage of the situation. That's all I really got to say about that. So that's the updates on the Eagles injuries. Washington has a crap ton of injuries right now, which is kind of nuts. So kind of just wanted to go over that. Now, Nick Sirianni did mention that Hassan Reddick is close to having his breakout game. What is it going to be? His breakout game on coverage? I don't get what the breakout game is going to be. If you use Hassan Reddick the right way, and look, I don't mind him being in coverage, but you got to have him as an edge rusher. I got to see more from him. I need him, percentage-wise, I need him more as an edge rusher in this game, especially against Washington. Maybe that's why he said he's going to have a monster game, because, they're missing their guard, and, Washington's missing their guard and their center this week, so maybe he'll have an easier time to get over there. But I still think Hassan Reddick is a great player. I just think his usage is just not used the right way. It's just not the way they use him on the field, and I just need to see more. This guy doesn't have a sack yet, 23.5 sacks in 2 seasons, and he's been really quiet. Not saying he didn't give any pressure during that Vikings game, because I did see some clips of him having pressure, but, it's just not enough. I need to see more from Hassan Reddick. I need to see he is a weapon, and he's just not producing here, and it's just really the usage of how you're just moving him around, or the percentage of how much you have him in pass coverage, and I don't even think he really is playing well as a pass coverage, Sam linebacker, because really the first game against Detroit, he only blitzed like 3 times. You know what I mean? So if you're not going to use him to blitz, you're not going to have him on coverage, and that's it, and have him at, the edge rusher once in a while. I need him more as an edge rusher going into this game. They have to take advantage of it. Like, they can always change up what these players do. Reddick should play more as a edge rusher in this game against Washington. I think that's safe to say it should happen. Okay, and lastly, this is kind of funny, actually. Now, A.J. Brown, the Eagles almost lost A.J. Brown this year, so the trade for A.J. Brown wouldn't have happened. A.J. Brown almost left the Titans, to go to another team. Not in the NFL. He actually was going to go play baseball for the Padres. He actually got a call. Well, he actually contacted them. I guess he's been training. He was training this offseason. He was actually training this offseason in baseball to see if he would get a tryout with the Padres. And I don't know, apparently the call went through, and they told him he can't play baseball and football at the same time. So he was actually going to leave for baseball. There was a chance that he was going to go to Padres spring training camp or whatever was going to happen, earlier in the offseason. I mean, obviously this is probably before Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown were really working out close to the draft, probably way before that time. But I just thought it was funny, and this is what he had to say. So he said, I was dead serious, Brown told Delaware Online. He said, the Padres had reached out to me. They were about to invite me to spring training. They were just waiting on the answer from me. That's crazy. We could have not even been able to make this A.J. Brown trade. But I thought it was funny. But it's, he probably would have, maybe there was a chance he was going to leave the Titans. So that probably was a big possibility for A.J. Brown. But other than that, that's pretty much it. That's the news for the day. The Commanders have a lot of injuries in the trenches on both sides. Defensive end, defensive tackle. The depth is horrible. They're giving up fifth most, run. I mean, it's insane right now. The run game with Miles Sanders and what they could do with this offense going to this game, I'm not really worried about the offense too much. They've allowed fifth in most rushing yards. Just insane. And I think they got to take advantage of that. And obviously, guard and center is a big weak spot for Washington this week. So you have to give the pressure. You have to make Carson Wentz as scared and on his toes as possible, because we will get turnovers in this damn game. We will, because this is going to be not excuse, but if you have a starting guard and a center out and the replacements are literally the replacements, in the Lions game, they lost two of their best offensive linemen. We still couldn't really, we got some pressure here and there, but it wasn't as great consistently. The Vikings Monday night, they played better, but this team right here, man, they're dealing with a lot right now. Carson Wentz has a lot on his plate being the quarterback for this week's game. So going to be really interesting. So let me know what you guys think about the injuries, what the Eagles have to take advantage of, and how do we win this game. You guys let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shake Squad up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.